The Democrats are beginning the final stages of acting like every other leftist totalitarian regime in history. The Democrat Party needs to now jail their political opposition in order to fulfill their plans for one-party rule. When Donald Trump said, "It's not me they're coming after, it's you," he was right. You know, the people who say Donald Trump or we are attacking the system, they're the ones attacking our Constitution, and they're done playing. The Democrat Party is repeating what leftist authoritarian regimes have done throughout our history. And this is the final push to one-party control. They're pushing to control production, property, energy, healthcare, transportation, you name it. They've already taken control of education. How's that working out? You oppose this. You're the opposition. Conservatives are not attacking the system is attacking you. I've told you before in previous arguments, it's not a cabal, it's a coven. Democrats seem to get away with everything. They never go to jail, no matter what they do. So when we see Trump facing another indictment, one after the other, we listen carefully as Hillary says the system is working.
But I don't know that anybody should be satisfied. This is a terrible moment for our country to have a former president accused of these terribly important crimes. The only satisfaction may be that the system is working.
Right. They control the system. The system is working. I mean, no reasonable prosecutor would take that case. They came right out and told you what would happen if you crossed their lines.
Solicited pronouncement on the intelligence community. This was his tweet just a little while ago tonight. You see the scare quotes there. The intelligence briefing on so-called Russian hacking was delayed until Friday. Perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange. We're actually told, intelligence sources tell NBC News since this tweet has been posted, that actually this intelligence briefing for the president-elect was always planned for Friday. It hasn't been delayed. But he's taking these shots, this antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you.
You know, the Democrats once had revolutionary elements within, but they did something called the Long March. They've taken over the institutions, okay? There isn't a bureaucracy or an agency that isn't run by the left at this point. And you know what's amazing? Right now, in D.C., the Coven is actually marking the 2nd anniversary of something called the Inflation Reduction Act.
This is not new to our president. Mr. President, this is your day. This is your day. Nearly 4 decades ago, Mr. President introduced the first climate bill in the Senate. 1986, before I was in Congress. You were already here.
I was already a senior member.
Climate bill, Schmimate bill, the EPA was created during the Nixon administration, but that's not the point. A climate bill is a control bill, okay, to control you, okay? They're trying to control you. They've spent trillions of dollars. Prices are still through the roof. Food is unaffordable. Gas is unaffordable. Young people can't buy homes. But it's working, and you know what? The best is yet to come.
When it comes to the Inflation Reduction Act, as great as it has been, the best is yet to come.
I can't believe it's going to get so much better. Higher prices, devalued currency, more regulations. Do you really think that they are running high-speed internet to low-income cities and rural areas out of altruism, or do you think they want to control the internet? Do you think between the Inflation Reduction Act, the Green New Deal, Build Back Better, the American Rescue Plan, that they want a patchwork of solar farms and wind farms and EV chargers because they just want clean, green energy? Or do you think they want to control energy? And when they control energy in the charging stations, they control movement. Here's Karine Jean-Pierre
As you all know, today is the first anniversary of the Inflation Reduction Act. Most one-year-olds can barely walk, but this one-year-old is up and running. I couldn't help myself, sorry. Up and running. So that's very excited. We're very excited about the Inflation Reduction Act and everything that it's doing.
Oh, that's just so cute. It's like a little infant that's going to grow up to be a big, bloated, useless, loser Democrat policy that's going to strangle us all to death. Well, not all of us. I mean, the coven, the people that run the system, the people that have done the long march, they'll do as they please. They'll fly in private jets. They'll ride in limousines. They'll eat what they want. They won't have any restrictions. Now, out of nowhere, John Podesta is back. The former head of the Center for American Progress, Hillary Clinton's campaign chair, who is working side by side with the media, Maggie Haberman, Glenn Thrush. We've got to control the climate.
Across the political spectrum, they support the movement to cleaner forms of energy, cleaner forms of transportation, and the other processes I mentioned, industrial processes as well, because it has enormous benefits to the economy, to job creation, to business investment, and to public health.
In other words, energy they'll control, transportation they'll control, and jobs they'll control because they'll control the grant money. And when Joe Biden says, come on, man, good paying union jobs, what that really means is we're going to give money to businesses to hire only union, and then the unions will give their money back to the Democrats if they even survive, like Proterra or Solyndra or A123. But who cares? They're not investing their money. They're destroying your investment. Now, here's the other head of the Center for American Progress, also inside the administration, Neera Tanden.
What do you say to them? I mean, other than just hang tight, it's getting better, because there doesn't seem to be anything in the bill, in the legislation that addresses that specifically. Is that right?
I will say that of the stresses on families every day, healthcare costs are one of their paramount concerns. And we know that pharmaceutical costs, drug costs, are driving healthcare costs up. And I'd say prescription drug costs are very resonant with the American people, and that is why prescription drug costs, addressing prescription drugs and lowering prescription drug costs is a key part of the Inflation Reduction Act.
So they capped insulin after you gave them billions of dollars when we were forced to get vaccinated, controlling us through vaccines. I want to do this real quick, the last couple of minutes. They're always calling us Nazis, right? We're Nazis. From FacingToday.com, headline examining Nazi environmentalism during Earth Week. Surprisingly, Nazi leadership ardently championed renewable energy and institutionalized organic farming and land use planning on a level unmatched by any nation, past or present. These environmental policies might seem like a welcome departure from the rest of the Nazi program, but their environmentalism was actually grounded in the same racist worldview that shaped the Holocaust. And here's another one from Columbia University, a study on Nazi ecology. Quote, the core of Nazi rural socialism was the idea that land use must be planned. Gottfried Feder was a leading Nazi charged with the duty of formulating such policy. He made a speech in Berlin in 1934 in which he stated that the right to build homes or factories or use land according to the personal interests of owners was to be abolished. The government would instead dictate how land was to be used and what would be constructed on it. Feder next began to build up the elaborate administrative machinery to carry out his plans. Sound familiar? Socialism, communism, Nazism, and fascism are essentially the same. The majority of the population lives under a state of control, and the government leaves little in the way of property and freedom. The people don't even make choices, even if they vote. Under those systems, the government runs housing, education, healthcare, transportation, and communication. That's what the elite left wants in this country. That's what the Democrat Party wants in this country. And they're using their system of control to attack all of it. All of it. I mean, they already control education for the masses. You're the masses. You're the sheep. They have to lock up their political opposition in order to finish their plans.